In this tutorial, you will learn how to use the Hofstra Library databases to find articles. First, we start in the portal, and if you look to the left, you can scroll down and click on the Library tab to get to the library homepage. You can access the library either at home or on campus. On the main library homepage, I just want to orientate you. You'll see a couple of search boxes here. The most prominent one is the one that says One Search. This allows you to search everything that the library owns, including books and websites, but it's not the most targeted search. So what I'd rather you did is click Databases by Subject and select your subject that's related to your topic paper from the drop-down menu. Most of you are education majors, so education would be appropriate. If you are anthropology, you have an anthropology choice. If you're in the sciences, you can go to natural science. If you don't know what you want, which database you want, I will give you a general database to search. So for education majors, we'll start here for education. Click Go. Here you're going to get a list of databases. There's quite a few here. You don't need to search all of them, but I will tell you which databases will work best for your topics. Academic Search Complete is a good database for any subject area. All subject areas are covered in here, so if you don't know where to go, this is the best place to start. There are some other databases that aren't relevant. For example, Counseling and Therapy and Video does not have articles. It's only videos. Dissertations and Theses will not help you either. So for everybody's sake, we'll start with Academic Search Complete. You could start your search here, but if you are an education major or your subject is related to education or really anything else, we can target the search even more. If you click on Choose Databases, you'll get about 50 or 60 other databases to choose from. So I'll tell you all what you can search if you're an education student. For education students, you have Academic Search Complete already clicked off. You can choose ERIC as well and Education Full Text. You'd also want to select Psych Articles and Psych Info because there might be information about child development or students with special needs. If you're a health sciences major or a sports sciences major, databases that would be most helpful to you would not be the education one, so I would unclick those. But I would select the CNAL Complete. That's a nursing database, so there's a lot of medical literature in there. Medline is also a good choice. Health Source, the Nursing Academic Edition, is a good choice. And Sports Discus is good for sports science majors. So you could select them all, or you could select one or two. It doesn't hurt to select more than one, though. Okay. Since this example is targeted towards an education paper, we'll leave the education ones clicked off. And if you're unsure, you can just email me, and I'll tell you which databases to search. And the next thing you want to do is start your search really, really basic. You don't want to put in some crazy phrases. So let's just say we wanted to do a topic paper on the effect of technology on young children. We break it down to the basic terms. Technology in one box, young children in the next box, and that's it. We don't need to do anything else. I don't recommend you put a whole phrase in there. I want you to pick a peer-reviewed journal, so we're going to make sure that we click peer review. Okay. You don't want to click full text. That's not going to do what you wanted to do. It actually won't get you full text for some reason, so just don't click it. The next thing you do is just click search. You don't have to worry about these boxes. I recommend just keeping it as simple as possible. Okay. What's going to happen next is we see how many results we have. We have 4,600. It's way too many. We want to get down to about 100 or so. Okay. Now, for the purposes of the paper that you have to do in my class, you don't really have to worry too much about narrowing it down a lot. But if you're in another class and you need to write a research paper, you might want to add another term. For example, we might want to include iPads to narrow it down. Okay. You see, I narrowed it down to 63 articles. That's much, much better. That's much more manageable, and the results are more relevant. We also want to look at the date range. If you look at the date range here, it's 2012 to 2017. That's the range of dates of publication that's available to us. So that's a pretty good indicator of what we should be doing. Keep in mind that if you're looking up medical topics, you really don't want your articles to be older than about 5 years. So you want to make sure that you put your dates into this publication date change. keep in mind too that whatever you search, the newest and the most relevant come up first in the databases. And that's how the library databases are much better than what you're going to find on the internet or Google Scholar, because they are ordered in relevance and the newest that comes up first. Okay. The next thing we want to do is, let's just pick an article that appeals. So click on the title. You're going to look at the whole record. You're going to see that you have the authors, you have the source, and you have all the information you need for a citation. You have the abstract here. The abstract tells you what the article is about. Okay. I'll give you a little tip over here. If you click the site, you scroll down a bit, here's your APA citation. So you can just copy and paste it. What you need to do, though, is make sure it's completely correct, because the databases don't always generate a perfect citation. So in this case, we would want to fix the make these lowercase. So we'd want to make base lowercase, app lowercase, preferences lowercase, and so on. In an article, the title of an article, only the first word and proper names should be capitalized. That's really important. Okay. The next thing you want to do is be able to find full text. So ultimately, the best choice is if we had a PDF, and you look down here, there's no PDF, there's no link to full text. Since we don't have a link to a PDF, what we can do is we can click on the Find Article icon. We'll open up another window, and it'll tell us where we might find a copy of this article. So in this case, we have two links to two different databases. If we click on one of the links, it'll take us to the full text, hopefully. Sometimes if it's an open access or a free journal, you have to do a little digging. But in this case, we got the article right here, and that's great. We don't have to do much more. Sometimes, though, instead of this message, you'll see a message that says you have to interlibrary loan the article because we don't own it. In that case, you would have to click on the interlibrary loan and order the article. It works pretty quickly, and as I told you in the week before, I wanted you to sign up for interlibrary loan just in case you need it. Okay. That's it for this tutorial. This should be enough information for you to get a couple of articles for your research project and for your paper for your final project, and for really any other subject you need.